is on the clock here. Joey Gant and Princeton set a meet record to close out another Hex team title for the Tigers.
Princeton makes a statement with emphasis, with exclamation points, and put it in caps lock. The Tigers are your Ivy League champions.
And Princeton will get its revenge from a year ago. In the waning seconds, the Tigers hold on. And for the first time, Princeton is Ivy League tournament champions.
Hit hard and through. They're gonna send Jug. She will slide in, and Princeton is headed to NCAA Regionals.
Princeton is going to make it 9 in a row, and once again, the Tigers are the Ivy League champions in 2026.
Over the top, in style, Princeton will run away with another title.
Welcome to the 2026 Gary Walters PVC Awards Banquet. Please welcome to the stage Ford Family Director of Athletics, John Mack.
Good evening everyone. My name is John Mack. I'm a proud member of the great class of 2000. I'm also the Ford Family Director of Athletics here, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 2026 Gary Walters Class of 1967 PVC Senior Awards Banquet. This is universally one of the best nights in the entire academic calendar for Princeton athletics, where we get a chance to celebrate all that is good and all that is right, not just in college athletics, but about Princeton athletics. Tonight, we celebrate our graduating senior student athletes and their amazing 4 years here at Princeton. This year's banquet crowd is among, if not the largest PVC banquet attendance that we've ever had. I think it's a testament to this year's senior class and to our seniors. We hope that this banquet conveys to you just some measure of the deep appreciation that we have for what you've invested in this institution over the last 4 years, the pride that we have in you, and the incredible gratitude that we have for the way that you've represented our institution over the last 4 years. As I complete my 5th year here as the Director of Athletics, it's truly been a privilege to get to know so many of our senior student athletes personally, and it's just a joy and honor to have watched all of them grow, develop over these last 4 years, and compete at the highest level of intercollegiate athletics. Tonight is about celebrating them and how their time here has been defined and really sets an example for what we want the student-athlete experience here to be. Let's get tonight started with some highlights of our Tigers in action over the past year. If you turn your attention to the video screen, we've got a short highlight reel for you.
The Tigers pull it out in the final seconds. They continue their ascent and climb inside the conference.
And the Princeton Tigers can celebrate the Ivy League regular season title.
And they will always be the first team to win the Ivy League regular season and tournament in the same year.
Princeton has done it all here at the Ivy.
Princeton Ivy League champions again.
This special season continues on for the orange and black.
Our two-time national champion from Princeton University, Zane.
Princeton has reached the pinnacle at the home of golf.
Middle curves, matches it.
Intercepted, Scorano took it away at the 30.
An incredible season here in Princeton, New Jersey.
As you just saw in the video, and as you can see to my left, this senior class has had some extraordinary moments, not just during this year, but extraordinary moments of success during their 4 years here on campus. We talk in the department all the time and to try to remind people that winning is two things. One, it is a lot of fun, and it is, my father used to say, if there's going to be a winner, I want it to be me. But winning is also incredibly, incredibly hard. It is a product of so many things done the right way. A little bit of luck, a little bit of hard work, a lot of support. And our coaches and student athletes can attest to just how much effort went into those moments that you were able to see on the screen. Our mission continues to be education through athletics. What I've frequently said is that you earn a degree in the classroom at Princeton, you earn an education everywhere at Princeton, and we continue to be part of the university's overall educational mission, and we just happen to have developed a culture that breeds extraordinary levels of success, and frankly, no class has done it like the class of 2026. During the 2025-2026 academic year, Princeton teams were fortunate enough to win a school record 20 conference championships. That includes 8 Ivy League tournament championships during this year and a remarkable 70 conference championships over the last 4 years. With all that success, I did happen to mention to Coach Madelon this week in our head men's lacrosse coach, there is room for one more trophy. And we want to make sure we recognize our men's lacrosse team who's competing at the Final Four this weekend down in Charlottesville, Virginia. In addition to the championships, and an important part of the story is teams who competed at an extraordinary level despite not winning a championship. We had another 40 teams over the last 4 years who finished in second place as members of the class of 2026. And all total, the class of 2026, and I don't get to say this every year, though it seems like it, the class of 2026 will graduate having led the most decorated 4-year run in Princeton athletics history. It's something that all of you should be proud of, and we certainly are. But the reality is that though we are here to celebrate the extraordinary levels of athletic success, if we limited our celebration to just athletics, we'd be doing a gross disservice to the overall experience of our student athletes, to the breadth and depth of their Princeton experience during these last 4 years. We openly say that winning is not our first priority here at Princeton. It is an important priority, but it is not the most important priority. Winning creates a platform for us to highlight all that is good in Princeton athletics, all that can be good in college athletics, when athletics takes its proper place in the lives and the experience of student athletes. We have 246 members of the graduating student athlete class of 2026, which means there are 246 distinct journeys over this last 4 years, and each journey is worth celebrating. Whether your individual journey involved championship success or whether your team just fell short, whether you stepped into a program that had a long, successful tradition, or whether you had to do the work of changing a team culture to prepare future generations for team success, each of these moments is worth celebrating because they helped to shape your Princeton journey. For every early morning lift with Angie or Jason or Corey screaming at you in the weight room, for every time you spent in the athletic training room with Emily or Dave or Matt, either recovering from or preparing for competition, we celebrate all of these moments, the moments that made you uncomfortable during your Princeton journey, whether it was in class or on the field, the moments that led to personal growth. We celebrate those moments during your journey where you had the option to quit, to choose an easier path, but you persevered and you continued on. We celebrate all that has been your Princeton journey. Even those moments that so many of us had where we questioned whether or not we could really handle the balance of what was on our plates as student athletes here at Princeton. We celebrate every precept, every visit to office hours, which meant you had to show up late for practice, but reinforced your commitment to academic priority. We celebrate all the time that you spent studying, whether it was in the bowels of Firestone Library or on the back of a bus on the way to a road trip. We celebrate proctored exams on the road. We celebrate every problem set, every final exam, every essay, every JP, and yes, all 246 completed senior theses. Most of all, we celebrate your unwavering commitment to your teams, to your teammates, to your friends, and to yourselves. We celebrate the impact that the class of 2026 has made on each other, on Princeton athletics, on this university community and the community at large. For every trip to Reading with the Tigers, for every visit with a friend from Team Impact, for every session at a PVC or Girls and Women in Sports Day clinic, for every moment of every journey, for all 246 of you. Because these are the moments that have helped to shape your Princeton student-athlete experience. And as those of us who have been privileged to wear a Princeton uniform can tell you, this journey is about so much more than wins and losses. It's about the journey to growth. It's about lasting relationships that will help you not just in the years to come, but in the rest of your life. 26 years later, I can tell you that the journey beyond Princeton is almost as impactful as the journey through Princeton. Being a student athlete is hard. You have chosen an uncommon path that few would choose and even fewer could do the way that you have done it over these last 4 years. Wearing the orange and black, wearing the logo, wearing the shield is being part of a special team. And there are not many teams through the rest of your life that you will be able to be a part of that rival what you've had these last 4 years. And as you move on to this next phase of your life after graduation, we hope that you will always see Princeton as your home, that you will always see Princeton athletics as your team, and that you will continue to stay a part of this amazing, amazing athletics community. You'll hear more about our Princeton athletics community throughout this evening, but right now we want to turn our attention to honoring some of the department's top performers in the classroom, on the field, and in the community. Please turn your attention to the video screen to meet our student athlete finalists for our first award of the evening, the Class of 1916 Cup.
Braden Carroll is a two-time IRCA Scholar Athlete for Princeton men's lightweight rowing and has been part of an IRA national title and 2 Jope Cup championships during his time with the Tigers. Carroll was awarded the university's Pine Prize, Princeton's top undergraduate honor, which recognizes scholarship, character, and leadership. He's also a 2-time Shapiro Prize recipient, has worked with the High Meadows Environmental Institute, and has been active with the undergraduate student government. Conlon Diamond has been a steady force for Princeton men's lightweight rowing, helping the Tigers' 3rd varsity win gold at this spring's Eastern Sprints following a silver performance last season. Off the water, Diamond has been active with the Outdoor Action Leadership Development Program, helping to welcome and transition incoming students to Princeton. A Shapiro Prize recipient, Diamond has served as a congressional intern with the U.S. House of Representatives. Helena Grossa is a 4-time NFCA National Scholar of Distinction and academic All-Ivy honoree for Princeton field hockey. She's been part of 2 Ivy championships and helped this year's Tigers to a berth in the NCAA National Championship game. Grossa serves as a Let Her Play ambassador, leading clinics to inspire young girls in sport, and is an active volunteer with Princeton Best Buddies. Additionally, she served as a research assistant for the Princeton School of International Affairs. Christina Lee is a 4-time Ivy League medalist and CRCA Scholar Athlete for Princeton Women's Open Rowing. As coxswain, Lee helped guide the 2nd varsity to gold at the 2026 Ivy League Championships. On campus, Lee serves on the Princeton Art Museum's Student Advisory Board and participates in the La Vie and Cello Music Ensemble. Additionally, Lee is a member of WIG Clio, Engineers Without Borders, and participates with the Boathouse's STEM to Stern program supporting underserved youth in Trenton. A senior inside linebacker for Princeton football, Ethan Puckett has modeled quiet determination for his program both on the field and in the classroom. Puckett is a member of the Association for Computing Machinery, Princeton's premier student organization dedicated to fostering computer science interest for aspiring engineers and academics. Puckett has also built an AI learning platform called Lecture Pilot to help students convert notes and lectures into interactive study tools.
The class of 1916 Cup honors that senior student athlete who finished their career with the highest GPA. This year's recipient of the class of 1916 Cup is Braden Carroll of the men's lightweight rowing team.
Thank you, Director Mack and the whole athletic department for this incredible honor. To be a member of the lightweight rowing team is a privilege that I do not take lightly. It's a team that I joined my first year here on the advice of someone I met on Outdoor Action. Shout out Nina Wheeldryer. And to be able to represent Princeton both on the race course, on the water, as well as in the classroom. Every time I've been introduced for whatever it may be, they lead with Braden as a member of the lightweight rowing team at Princeton. And that, I think, is one of the most special things that could be said about someone, to be an athlete and to represent the Tigers here. So I appreciate the effort and everything that's been given to me by our coaching staff, Coach Smith, Coach Burke, Coach Crotty, the rest of the Boathouse, Mateo Torres, who walked on with me and has been with me every step of the way here, and then just the Boathouse in general. Just thank you so much for everything you have given me. To be able to represent the Boathouse up here is the highest honor that I think I've had in my 4 years. So thank you all very much.
Congratulations again, Braden, and best of luck to Braden and the rest of our men's lightweight rowing team at the IRAs next weekend. As you heard in the video, Braden was also a Pine Prize recipient this year. It's the university's highest honor to an undergraduate. He becomes the 4th honoree, for student athlete honoree in the last 10 years, which speaks to the impact that our student athletes have beyond the competitive fields here at Princeton. On a similar note, I also want to acknowledge Caroline Kane of the women's soccer team. Is Caroline here? Caroline was recently named a Spirit of Princeton honoree for her contributions to the campus community. She joins a long list of student athletes who've been honored with the Spirit of Princeton award over the past few years. So congratulations, Caroline. I can tell you that when you are a student athlete at a place like Princeton, it is easy not to know all the names and faces of the people who make your experience possible. You don't know who turns the lights on, who sets up the field, who orders the uniforms, who does so many things that make what we do possible, both on the fields, in the classrooms, and everywhere else. But the reality is, when you have the kind of broad-based success that we do across our department, and you can provide the kind of transformational experience that we do, it's not the work of just a few people. It's truly the work of our entire staff, our campus community, and so many who are both here tonight and those who couldn't be here tonight. But we are lucky to have a number of key contributors to the student-athlete experience here tonight that we want to recognize. I want to first start by recognizing Gary Walters in his absence. Gary's a member of the great class of '67. The PVC Banquet was his brainchild during his tenure as athletic director, and we are forever indebted to Gary for his impact on Princeton and Princeton athletics. I also want to acknowledge our entire athletic department staff, the coaches, the administrators, the support staff, everyone who plays a role in the day-to-day experience that we provide to more than 1,000 varsity student athletes and to 6,000 students across this campus. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to Princeton students. I would also be remiss if I did not recognize all the parents who made it out tonight. Can we have all the parents just wave your hands who are in the room? As the father of 3 kids currently playing Little League, I can only imagine the hours that it takes of devotion, of expense, of care for parents to get their kids to and through a 4-year student-athlete experience. And so we are grateful to all the parents who continue to show up on behalf of our student-athletes. We also are fortunate, I say frequently, to have the best, and you can define best in every way, the best support from our university's senior administration. It starts with our university president, Chris Eisgruber of the great class of 1983, who's here this evening. Also with us, our Executive Vice President, Katie Callow-Wright. And the woman that most of us call our #1 fan, our Vice President for Campus Life, Rochelle Calhoun. She's not wearing the jacket, but Rochelle is also an honorary member of the great class of 2000, just saying. We also have a number of our Princeton Varsity Club board members here with tonight. Our PVC board does incredible work supporting the entirety of the student-athlete experience. So can I just have all of our PVC board members raise their hand so we can recognize you, and thank you for your amazing, amazing support of Princeton student-athletes. Also, one of the things that makes our student-athlete experience so different from most places is what we call our Athletic Fellows program and our team around the team. The faculty members, the university staff members, the people, whether you're in the dining hall or the lecture hall, who go out of their way to support our student-athletes and make their entire Princeton experience what it has been. So all of our Athletic Fellows, all of our team around the team members, please raise your hand so we can thank you for your incredible support. Last but not least, I want to give thanks to 2 members of our athletic department who have had a hand in putting on this event for so long, both of whom are retiring this evening. When I came in this morning, the very first thing that I saw was Karen Malik and Nancy Donegan taking all of the trophies out of the trophy case and arranging them here. They have both had a tremendous hand in this event. Karen has worked at Princeton for 36 years. Nancy has been here for 39 years, and they are both retiring. And one final note as a way of recognition in her time here. Nancy Donegan has ordered every single award for every single PVC banquet in its history. So we are incredibly indebted to her, and I will kindly ask her to leave a detailed list of instructions on how to order the awards so that we can make sure that we have them for next year. So Nancy, Karen, thank you so much for your commitment to Princeton athletics. So many of our coaches, our alumni, our staff members, university officials exhibit leadership in their day-to-day lives, both professionally and personally. And at the same time, we have so many senior student athletes with us tonight who have been incredible leaders within their teams and across the university community. I now have the pleasure of presenting the Chris Saylor Student Athlete Leadership Award. This award is presented annually to a senior student athlete that demonstrates the exceptional leadership and commitment to serving others. It's given in name of Chris Saylor, our legendary Hall of Fame women's lacrosse coach here at Princeton. Chris retired in 2023 after 36 years, 16 Ivy titles, 3 NCAA titles, but more importantly, 4 decades of transformational leadership and impact on Princeton students. And we're happy to have Chris with us here tonight. Chris, over there. And after 5 years, I have finally forgiven Chris. She walked into our very first meeting in November of 2021 and told me she was retiring. And my first thought was, everyone is going to think I pushed Chris Saylor out after 2 months on the job. But Chris has been a transcendent leader here at Princeton, and we're so happy to have her here and also to have this award in her name. Let's meet our 5 finalists for the Chris Saylor Leadership Award. Please turn your attention to the screens.
Shay Green is a 2-year captain for Princeton women's track and field. She's a 2-time second-team All-American and the first 4-time Ivy League champion in the javelin. A servant leader who inspires across her team's event groups, Green has been part of the executive team for the Student Athlete Wellness Leader program and is a founding member of her team's Community Service Committee. Additionally, she serves as co-president of the Jewish Student Athlete Collective and as a class representative for the Department of Politics. David Jacobs is a 2-year captain for Princeton men's ice hockey, whose 89 career points rank top 25 in program history. A 2026 ECAC Defensive Forward of the Year finalist and All-Ivy performer, Jacobs' steadfast and respected leadership was on full display these past 2 seasons as he helped the program transition to a new coaching staff and instill a renewed belief in the halls of Baker Rink. Off the ice, he served his campus community as a student athlete wellness leader and has been active with Princeton student agencies. Luke Johnston is a senior captain for Princeton men's water polo, having helped the Tigers to 4 NWPC titles and NCAA appearances during his career. Johnston has been a pillar of steady and positive leadership even when overcoming injury. Johnston's leadership was instrumental in bringing a young team together this past season to overcome the graduation of 10 Impact seniors. Out of the water, Johnston helped the Princeton University Library source an 18th century manuscript to assist in the study of the American Revolution. Valerie Nudecore is a 2-year captain and first-team All-Ivy performer for Princeton women's volleyball, helping the Tigers to 3 consecutive Ivy League championships. Off the court, Nudecore supports her team and campus community as a student-athlete wellness leader, Share Peer, UHS peer health advisor, and athlete-to-athlete mentor. She also serves as a peer academic advisor in her residential college and undergraduate teaching assistant, and is a leader to her local community as an emergency room technician and EMT. The 2025 Ivy Pitcher of the Year and Career Saves Leader, Brielle Wright has guided Princeton softball to 4 Ivy titles, a league record 65 Ivy regular season victories, and 2 NCAA wins. A resilient and selfless leader and team captain, Wright has persevered through injury to always be there for her team in the biggest moments, whether called upon to be a starter or the closer. Off the diamond, Wright serves as a Tiger Pal mentor, student-athlete wellness leader, athletic student marketing lead, and team rep for the Friends of Softball.
This year's recipient of the Chris Saylor Leadership Award is Shay Green of the women's track and field team.
Wow, thank you so much. It's an honor to just be up here and represent my team and be recognized. Thank you to the athletic department, to all my coaches, Coach E, Coach Jones, Coach Hunt, Greg, Garrett, to Kim, to my family and my exceptional teammates and best friends. It is your influence that shaped me to the person I am today. Being at Princeton has taught me that good leadership comes from putting others before yourself, even if it means you have to sacrifice something, and learning what your values are and living by them. I couldn't be more grateful, again, grateful for my family, my coaches, my team, and couldn't be more grateful to call myself a Princeton Tiger. Thank you.
Congratulations, Shay, and good luck at the NCAA regional meet next week in Kentucky. Continuing on the theme of leadership for a quick moment, I want to recognize a guest who just joined us, former University President Harold Shapiro, who's here with us. President Shapiro served the university with distinction for many years and was an avid supporter of athletics, and we're grateful to have him joining us this evening. In the spirit of our team around the team, we want to present the next award, which is our Marvin Bressler Award. This is awarded to a member of the Princeton community who, through heartfelt support of the university's student athletes and coaches, best embodies a belief in the lifelong lessons taught by competition and athletics as a complement to the overall educational mission. It's awarded in the spirit of Marvin Bressler, professor of sociology from 1963 to 1994. This year's recipient of the Marvin Bressler Award is Bert Kerstetter from the great class of 1966. Bert is a football alum, a philosophy major, helping Princeton to the 1963 and 64 Ivy League championships, and he was a leader on the iconic 1964 undefeated Princeton football team. Professionally, Bert spent his entire career leading Everfast and Calico Corners. His contributions to Princeton athletics and to the university at large are vast, and Bert has impacted our student athlete experience, the coach experience, in ways that are both seen, felt, and unseen. He's enhanced the student athlete and coach experience through programming like the long-standing Jake McCandless PVC Speaker Series, our Tiger Coaches Summit. He's a supporting member of the PVC Lifetime Membership Club, just to name a few ways in which he's impacted Princeton and Princeton athletics. For those seniors who've worked with Dean Alec Dunn on the academic side, Bert helped to make that critical role a reality a number of years ago. He saw a need for greater connection between the athletic and academic sides of the house and worked diligently to make that a possibility. He's been incredibly involved and supportive in so many areas of campus as well, and I encourage you to read the program to learn more about him. We are incredibly fortunate to have Bert not just as a member of our community, but as we say, a member of our team. We're grateful for all that he does to support Princeton student athletes, our coaches, and most importantly, the university's overall mission and our mission of education through athletics. Let's roll the video to hear more about Bert Kerstetter and his impact on Princeton and Princeton athletics.
We are absolutely thrilled to be honoring Bert Kerstetter with the Marvin Bressler Award. Bert's commitment to education through athletics and to the Princeton Athletic Department is second to none. I've had the great pleasure to work with Bert for over 20 years through his involvement with the PVC board, and I'm always so impressed by all that he does to support our student athletes, coaches, and the undergraduate experience. Beyond athletics, Bert is invested across the university, and there is no one more deserving than he is of this wonderful honor.
Congratulations, Bert. Such a successful football player, undefeated team, great student, and amazing professional success. But my relationship with you began when I became head coach, and friendship, mentorship, support, what you've done for Princeton athletics, and Princeton football, just your generosity, your spirit, and your support are outstanding.
Congratulations, Bert. It's been such an honor getting to know you as a friend of the Princeton athletics community, and I'm so grateful to also call you a friend on a personal level. You've certainly impacted my time here as a coach, and when I think about transitioning from an assistant coach role to a head coaching role, I immediately think of the Coaches Summit and all that I've learned there. I'm so grateful that you are part of our lives, and I just want to congratulate you again on this award.
I have been incredibly honored by this, and I appreciate it very much. I noticed that there were many recipients that I admire and respect, but three in particular, John McPhee, Harold Shapiro, and Fred Harganen have all been legends in Princeton athletics, and so I'm extremely honored to be included in that group. Through the years, I've been associated with the University Center for Human Values, and I often get asked by my classmates, what values are you really talking about? And in my view, it's the value of Princeton athletics relates to the ethics of excellence. And that's no accident. It comes primarily through the coaching staff. We have some of the greatest coaches in the country. I was fortunate enough to be coached by Dick Coleman and Jake McCandless. I think the contribution that I'm most proud of is the establishment of the Jake McCandless Speaker Series in 2004, maybe 2005. And since then, we've had almost 20 really exceptional talks that were attended by many coaches and many players. But it was, I think it adds quite a nice experience to the campus.
I'm thrilled that we're able to honor Bert Kerstetter with our Marvin Bressler Award. Whether it's his work inspiring student athletes through the Jake McCandless Speaker Series, his devotion to our coaches in supporting the Tiger Coaches Summit, or helping us to create strong relationships with the academic side of the institution, Bert has spent a lifetime bringing our motto of education through athletics to life. Thank you, Bert, for your support of Princeton athletics.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage this year's recipient of the Marvin Bressler Award, Bert Kerstetter, the great class of 1966.
This is quite an honor. I thoroughly appreciate it. When John called, I was surprised, but I took a few minutes to make some notes, so I ended up with 8 pages, which will be about 20 or 30 minutes. Then John reminded me that I have 60 seconds, so you will be spared my eccentric thoughts about the philosophy of sports, but I do want to repeat 2 comments from earlier. The first having to do with values. And I think that the value that you experience at Princeton is related to the relentless pursuit of excellence, that virtually every activity we participate in, whether it's in the classroom or on the field, has to do with a continuous improvement. That does not happen by an accident. There's a reason why. There are, in fact, 2 reasons why. The first is the coaching staff that Princeton has had for probably 60 or 70 years. They are the source of inspiration for your activities. But the second factor that's related to the coaches is that we have had the benefit of 3 of the all-time great director of athletics in the history of the NCAA. We started with Gary Walters, who, for whom this dinner is named, followed by Molly Marcoux, who you're going to hear from later this evening, followed by John Mack. And my theory is that when the Hall of Fame is created for athletic directors, those 3 will be in the first class entry. So thank you, Gary, thank you, Molly, and thank you, John.
Thank you so much, Bert, for all that you do to support our coaches, our student athletes, and to drive and live the mission of education through athletics. As I mentioned earlier, each one of our student athletes, each student at Princeton has their own unique journey, filled with ups and downs, success, struggles, As our seniors know, Princeton sometimes is a little bit of a roller coaster. But each journey is meaningful and impactful, and they are full of moments that define your experience. We have a video here as a few of our graduating seniors share reflections on their Princeton journey. Please turn your attention to the screens.
Dear Princeton.
Dear Princeton.
Dear Princeton.
Dear Princeton.
Dear Princeton. Thank you for changing my life. The only way to truly grow as a human is to step outside your comfort zone. You can't be the smartest person in the room if you want to learn, and you can't be the best player on the team if you want to get better at your sport. And being a student athlete here has pushed me to work harder than I ever thought possible.
If I told my freshman self everything that I experienced over the past 4 years here, I'm not sure she would have believed me. I truly felt invincible until I discovered I wasn't. Whether I was diving on the court or rehabbing behind the scenes, there were always people beside me who believed in me, encouraged me, and reminded me of my worth beyond the game.
I felt a great sense of responsibility to contribute not only on the court, but in the classroom and to the community. Yet whatever I contributed during my time here, the university gave back to me many times over. I learned from remarkable teachers, grew alongside some of the most impressive people I've ever met, and had academic and research opportunities beyond what I could have imagined.
As soon as I stepped on this campus, I was greeted with challenges far beyond my expectations. Long nights, early morning practices, injuries, personal struggles, coursework, and constant travel. And through all of it, I was never alone. Princeton has given me a family for life. Thank you for listening to me and creating a collaborative environment where I've always felt comfortable being myself.
My experience at Princeton University was defined not just by academics or athletics, but by the communities that shaped me along the way. I learned how to bring people together, how to listen, and how to stand firm when it mattered most. Looking back, Princeton was more than just a university. It was a proving ground. It tested me, supported me, and ultimately prepared me for the path ahead.
While my time here has finally come to an end, my final thank you goes out to Princeton for an unforgettable 4 years here.
There's nothing more I could have asked for, and I will carry the memories and lessons I've learned with me as I venture out into the world.
I leave Princeton not only with a degree, but with a clearer sense of purpose, a stronger belief in myself, and a deep appreciation for the people and experiences that made this journey unforgettable.
Committing to Princeton was one of the best decisions I've ever made, and I can wholeheartedly say that there is no other institution in the world that offers a better experience for a student athlete.
As my time at Princeton comes to an end, I look back with pride at who I've become and recognize the central role Princeton has played in shaping me as a person. Thank you for turning a place I once looked up to from the stands into a place I was proud to call home.
Thank you to our 5 seniors, Avi, Jack, Maddie, Sabrina, and Scott, for their heartfelt perspective on their experience and for being such tremendous representatives of Princeton and Princeton athletics. We have the pleasure tonight of presenting an honorary lifetime membership award to a young alum who's continued to be a servant leader and positively impact their community in their time since graduation. This year's recipient of the honorary lifetime PVC membership award is AJ Chen, of men's volleyball alum from the class of 2021. AJ was a neuroscience major and senior captain for the men's volleyball team and a part of the 2019 EIVA championship team. He was a Spirit of Award honoree and involved in a number of campus efforts, including co-founding the Asian Student Athletes at Princeton Affinity Group As a fun note, he was one of 2 virtual co-hosts for the PVC Banquet his senior year during COVID. He's given back to his community through a career in patient care, currently working as a physician assistant in orthopedic surgery after obtaining a master's degree from the Wake Forest University School of Medicine. And he's remained an active volunteer with Princeton Volleyball and has stayed connected to the game as a club volleyball coach. Let's hear from tonight's lifetime member honoree, AJ Chen, a video on the screen.
Thanks, John, for that intro. I'm incredibly honored to receive this recognition and grateful for the opportunity to share a few brief remarks tonight. During my time at Princeton and within Princeton Athletics, my experiences helped shape my understanding of what it means to have a heart for service. While there's certainly personal growth that comes from serving others, I've learned that service is less about what we gain and more about what we are able to give and pour into other people and communities. There will be times when your service is never recognized by other people, never captured by photos or posted about on LinkedIn. There will be times when you never get to follow up or hear about the impact that your service had. But to have a heart for service is to put all of that aside and to contribute to something bigger and more important than yourself. As you celebrate your incredible accomplishments this weekend and carry the pride of being Princeton alumni, I hope you will also continue to carry the humility to recognize what a privilege it is to be in a position to serve others, whether giving your time, your energy, your attention, or your thoughtfulness. And as you move beyond the orange bubble, remember that service does not require any status, titles, doesn't have to be big or well organized. All it takes is a willingness to find ways to add value to the lives of others, something you all are familiar with as Princeton athletes. People will one day forget how many championships you won or how you filled the stat sheet, but they will always remember the ways you showed up and sacrificed for them. Congratulations again, class of 2026. Best of luck, and remember to always be a Tiger.
Congratulations to AJ. Unfortunately, AJ could not be with us tonight, but he will be here arriving on campus tomorrow for a reunion. So if you see him, please congratulate him and thank him for continuing to demonstrate what servant leadership is all about. Turning now to our class of 1967 PVC Citizen Athlete Award. I have the pleasure of presenting this to a distinguished alum recognizing their contributions to sport and society. And tonight's honoree is no stranger to Jadwin Jim. In one way or another, her work, her life has impacted all of us here positively. Her fingerprints are simply all over Princeton athletics and so many other sports at all levels of sport. And her resume is far too long and far too distinguished for me to go through it at length, but I want to highlight a couple of things. As a Princeton undergrad, she's one of our all-time greats in hockey and also was a letter winner in soccer and still ranks very, very highly in our record books. She spent nearly 2 decades in leadership at Chesley Piers, where she was responsible for overseeing sports operations, youth programmings across 2 world-class sports complexes. She returned back to Princeton in 2014 as a Ford Family Director of Athletics, and during her 7 years as the leader of our department, she transformed the student-athlete experience in countless ways, including launching our Tiger Athletics Give Day, which are our main fundraising vehicle to support student-athletes in our programs. She promoted a holistic performance environment and oversaw facility projects including the stadium bubble, new version of Roberts Stadium, and the university's expansion across to the Meadows neighborhood. After she left Princeton, she continued to grow the game, first as commissioner of the LPGA, where she helped increase tournament purses and player income by over 90%. She helped implement a comprehensive performance model to better prioritize athlete performance and well-being. She improved access to mental health and resources, nutrition, and she fully subsidized healthcare insurance for the athletes on the LPGA. Now she's the CEO of U.S. Squash, as squash makes its debut as an Olympic sport in the LA 2028 Games. More personally, I can tell you that Molly's 7 years as the athletic director here changed the trajectory of Princeton athletics, and everything that you see and feel now is a testament to the work that Molly did. Transitions in leadership can be challenging or uncomfortable for everyone involved, but I will tell you that I stepped into a situation that was better probably than anyone else in the country. I stepped into a role that had a great culture and great people, and that had great leadership. The best thing I can say about Molly is this. She has never tried to force me to stand in her shadow, but she has always been willing to let me stand on her shoulders. And for that, I am eternally grateful. This year's recipient of the class of 1967 PVC Citizen Athlete Award, Molly Marcus Saman.
Kim, I thought that was going to be Warrior, Patty Smythe. I don't know. Thank you, John. Obviously, a tremendous upgrade from the AD that came before you, without question. It's a bit strange to be back up here on the stage, but I think the fact that I am is actually a symbol of Princeton Athletics' connected, mission-driven, passionate, perhaps cult-like community. John and I have developed a great friendship over the last 5 years, united by a love of Kim, of course, and all of the amazing, yes, we can clap for Kim, all of the amazing staff and coaches. But it's also a shared passion for the work that Princeton Athletics does for this university, for our remarkable student athletes. And for our strong commitment to producing young people who will enter the post-college world with a commitment to using their talents and lessons learned to not just achieve personally, but to lead and to serve. I think you'll hear that throughout this entire evening. Some of you may not know this, but every Princeton athletic director has been a Princeton alum, which I don't think any other Division I school can claim. I'm sure that Ken Fairman and Royce Flippin and Bob Meislick and Gary Walters and of course John have all been as proud as I am to have served in this role. So I was very surprised when John called to tell me that I had to accept this very special award, the 1967 Citizen Athlete Award. My first thought was that he must be running out of people to honor. My next thought was, what would I say in my speech now that the tables are turned? I remember that when I was in John's seat, I always hoped that whomever we honored would have a big name in the sports world, like a Jason Garrett or last year's honoree, Kara Nortman, who's putting the women's sports world on fire, and would deliver a speech that would be four things: funny, inspirational, profound, and memorable. Further, I wanted to make sure that President Eisgruber would approve of whomever we picked. That was important. And maybe most importantly, I hoped that the honoree would not speak for too long. So you can imagine the further stress that I immediately felt, because I'm generally none of those things. Except, of course, hopefully, President Eisgruber would approve. And I knew, unlike my predecessor, Gary Walters, who's not here tonight, so it's not as fun to make fun of him, but I knew that I was capable of speaking for less than 10 minutes if I tried, unlike Gary. So 2 out of 6 is definitely not an A. Fortunately, my grade won't go on my transcript, so I decided to just do my best and let the chips fall where they may, a mantra that I try to live by. So when thinking about what I could say to you seniors that you'll carry with you throughout your life, my college-age daughters, who are both here tonight, and who, with their younger brother, have had to listen to my life lessons for their whole lives, told me, nobody will be listening. Your only hope is to keep their attention for a little bit. Then they added that the stories that they decided that I should just tell some stories and that they shouldn't be about them. Then they added that those stories should certainly not be about them, which most of my stories usually are. My husband had a slightly different take. He said I would be the most popular speaker in the history of this banquet if I simply walked to the mic and said, "Thank you for this wonderful honor, and go Tigers." Because he knows, like all of us, that the tents are awaiting. All great advice, but I thought I would do it my way. Speaking of advice, you'll probably never receive more advice than you'll receive this week. Find your purpose, stay true to your values, serve others. There's no such thing as failure. It's all about the process. All really good advice. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to search YouTube for graduation speeches, which I've been doing all week. But instead of getting too deep or even attempting to compete with the likes of Jensen Huang or Oprah or Tom Brady, I decided I would just stick to what I know with certainty and give you the one piece of simple advice. So here it is. For the rest of your lives, and especially when things are hard, remember the skills, the lessons, and the mindset that you learned as a Princeton student athlete. We all know and believe in our department motto, education through athletics. We may feel like outliers in college sports right now, but that makes the mission matter even more. I'll keep it simple and focus on 4 things to remember when time gets tough or you're at a crossroads. First, embrace unpredictability and play the next play. One reason sports are so fun is that outcomes are totally unpredictable. Life is the same. That can feel scary to driven, results-oriented people like all of you who've had clear goals up to now. So I just say, have a plan and set goals, absolutely, but how you pivot and navigate matters more. During my senior year, one of my roommates, who happens to be here right now tonight, and along with a number of my roommates and teammates cheering me on here tonight, she passed a handwritten survey around. We had, as you imagine, no Google Drives, no phones, not even any email, asking what, and this again was a handwritten survey that he handed to us, asking us what we thought we would be doing in 5 years, 10 years, 25 years. My answers were pretty simple. A cool job in sports, and then a cooler job in sports, and then a really cool job in sports. At my 25th and my 30th reunions, I was the AD here at Princeton, something I never imagined in 1991. When I wrote my thesis on the history of women's golf, I didn't think I'd one day be the commissioner of the LPGA. And thank you. And when I watched Olivia Fector-Weaver play squash in Jadwin in 2017, I didn't expect I'd be working with her as she chases the sport's first ever Olympic gold in 2028. My path, like most people's, has had twists and turns, some lucky breaks, some really lucky breaks, and some bad breaks, some good decisions and some bad decisions. What helps, though, what has always helped, is what I learned as a Princeton student athlete. Next play mentality. You already know. Pull the ball out of the net, adjust, and get back to work. Stay positive, and good things will come your way. Pretty simple, but we often forget that when times get hard. The other thing that some of you know me talk about all the time is be on great teams and be a great teammate. The best Princeton teams have not necessarily been the most talented. They're the teams that have optimized the power of the collective. You will all be high performers, and you're going to strive to achieve personally. But you will have more success and more joy if you focus on putting the team first, serving your teammates, and playing the most impactful role you can play. Sometimes it'll feel like that approach won't allow you to get what you want, but I have found the exact opposite. And along those lines, when and if you decide you're building your own family, it will be your most important team. The team-first approach might be hard and might require sacrifice, but it's this mindset and approach that will bring you the greatest joy and the greatest success in life. Thank you, girls. Number 3, joy and passion lead to success. Think about the most impactful players on your teams, the best leaders, the person you respect the most. I think about this all the time. What allows someone to have true impact and influence? For me, it's rarely the person with just the most talent. It's the person who cares the most and who loves what they are doing more than anyone. It's most often this love, this energy, and this commitment that drives the mission forward. Think about that when you make your career choices. Find the thing that you will be obsessed by, and that's where you'll have the biggest impact. So 4th and final, again, the tents are waiting. Stay focused. This may seem strange to you because you're all extremely fit and extremely athletic, but this is something that I wish someone had told me when I graduated. Stay focused on those performance behaviors. The same performance behaviors that allowed you to succeed on the playing field will allow you to succeed long after your athletic career. Exercise vigorously and consistently. Don't sacrifice sleep. Be careful what you put in your body. Believe in yourself and your team. Compete aggressively and embrace the challenge ahead, even when you feel like you don't have the time or you don't have the energy. I didn't always do that while raising 3 kids and working really hard, long jobs, but I wish I had. So in sum, I have no doubt that you, the great class of 2026 Princeton student athletes, will change the world if you approach life like you have approached being a Princeton student athlete. You've had incredible success. Karen and Nancy, you guys must have been here all day putting these things up here. You have won 67 championships in 4 years. That's pretty awesome. I think we've seen that John is way more humble than I am, but as Vice President Calhoun and President Eisgruber know, I would have been just bragging about that all over the place. I'd have been showing charts and graphs, and John's a little bit more humble than I am in that, but I'd be blasting those stats everywhere. I know these championships have not come easy and have required enormous effort, discipline, sacrifice, and commitment. I know you've learned from the best coaches in the world. You guys are awesome coaches. And therefore, you are prepared to achieve, serve, and lead. And by the way, I also know you guys have been having a lot of fun because I follow Abigail Roberts on TikTok. Little FOMO that I have every time I open up that TikTok. So you are now part of a Princeton alumni community that will be with you forever. 35 years from now, one of you will be up here giving a speech that the class of 2061 won't remember. So congratulations to the amazing John Mack and the entire athletic department staff, to our coaches who still inspire me every day, and to the great class of 2026. And thank you to my fellow honorary classmates from 1967 for this wonderful honor. My father was a huge Princeton fan, and he is most definitely in heaven wearing his Tiger scarf, telling people who probably don't care at all that I just received this special award. So thank you, and go Tigers.
Thank you, Molly. I'd say you were 4 for 4 on your checklist of goals for your speech. Thank you also for continuing to be such a tremendous friend and supporter to all of Princeton and Princeton athletics. We go from recognizing an alum for their contributions to sport and society to spotlighting our student athletes for their commitment to service with the Art Lane Class of 34 Award. This award honors contributions to sport and society and is presented in honor of the great Art Lane from the class of 1934, who was captain of Princeton's 1933 National Championship football team, an officer in the U.S. Navy, and later a federal judge and corporate general counsel. We have a tremendous group of 6 finalists tonight, all servant leaders in their own ways, both on and off campus. Let's turn our attention to the screen to find out more about our nominees for this year's Art Lane Award.
Charlotte Cox is a coxswain for Princeton men's lightweight rowing, helping guide the 3rd varsity to gold and the Tigers to the Jope Cup at this year's Eastern Sprints. Off the water, Cox has supported Princeton Rowing's STEM to Stern program, teaching STEM curriculum and rowing to underserved students in Trenton, while also coaching with the New Jersey Special Olympics. Cox mentors athletes as a health professions advisor for the Varsity Athlete Pre-Medical Society and actively volunteers with the Red Cross and Penn Medical Center. Zach Friedman, a senior defenseman for Princeton men's lacrosse, helped the top-seeded Tigers to this year's NCAA Final Four after winning both the Ivy League regular season and tournament titles. Friedman has been a 2-year president of the Princeton Best Buddies chapter, organizing the group's annual Best Buddies Field Day. He's also a member of the Varsity Pre-Medical Society and Student-Athlete Wellness Leaders, and supports his team as a score leader to promote inclusion and healthy relationships among his teammates. Lucia Scalamandre helped Princeton women's volleyball to 3 Ivy League championships, while finishing her career ranked second all-time in program history for career blocks. Off the court, Scalamandre was a member of the Student Athlete Service Council and a Team Goodwill ambassador, helping to grow Princeton volleyball's involvement with service. Additionally, Scalamandre supports students in Trenton through the Perfect City Project and assists homeless youth in her hometown through the nonprofit My Friend's Place. Georgina Scoot of Princeton Women's Track and Field is a multi-time All-American and 8-time Ivy League champion across the long jump and triple jump. Scoot leads volunteer efforts as a women's track community outreach leader, fostering partnerships with several local food pantries. She's also worked with the nonprofit Asia Foundation in Malaysia to address social and economic challenges abroad and serves on the Special Political and Decolonization Committee for the Model United Nations, supporting global human rights. Jaden Cison is a senior defenseman for Princeton men's ice hockey and was a national finalist for this year's Hockey Humanitarian Award. Off the ice, Cison has been a role model to local elementary students in the Tiger Pals mentorship program and an instrumental leader with Team Impact, helping Princeton hockey welcome 10-year-old Grayson to their roster this season. He represents his team on the Student Athlete Service Council and leads youth hockey clinics in his hometown through the Ed Snyder Youth Hockey and Education Foundation. A senior offensive lineman for Princeton football, Jaden Wedderburn has been a servant leader for both his team and his community throughout his Tiger career. Wedderburn has connected middle school students with community leaders through the Perfect City Service Focus program, developed a curriculum for youth mentorship as a team lead for Urban Promise Trenton, and supported the social justice group for a local assemblywoman. On campus, Wedderburn has volunteered as a Vote 100 ambassador and served as a Yale College councilman.
It's a tremendous group of finalists. This year's recipient of the Art Lane Award is Jaden Wedderburn of Princeton football.
People in here. I got something to say, but first I gotta give all glory to God for putting me in this position. Thank you to my parents who came out today for instilling in me kind of selfless abnegation for community service. That trait was given to me from them, so I thank them for that. I thank my little sisters, the 3 of them, for inspiring me. To keep me poised in my mission. Very rarely are offensive linemen recognized for their contributions on the field. The expectation is that we do our job day in and day out. We do it efficiently with no complaint. But the same can be said for the person who devotes their lives to one of service. Very rarely is one recognized for their dedication to service. And that's okay. The QB can't throw and the running back can't run if the offensive lineman, those 5 men on the front line selflessly putting their needs of their team ahead of themselves. Likewise, institutions can't thrive, people cannot succeed, and society cannot progress without the selfless abnegation of the people within it. This award means a lot to me because it's the formal recognition of a lifelong commitment to service. At the same time, this award means a lot to me because it's a formal recognition of a lifelong commitment I've made to service. At the same time, society will not progress without their own offensive linemen at the helm, pursuing a thankless path to serving its people. As we look to graduate and pursue higher feats of success, please do not fall into the glamour of posh and prestige. You've certainly earned your way into those positions, but know that every skyscraper has its own shadows, every city has its alleys, and every opportunity is not as accessible to everybody. Instead, I urge everyone in this room to recall one of Princeton's longtime mottos, and that is in the nation's service and the service of humanity. I urge you to find ways, meaningful ways, to engage with your surrounding community and give back to the communities in need. Thank you, and go Tigers.
Congratulations and thank you, Jaden, for demonstrating a commitment to service. And to all of our student athletes who are part of the class of 2026 for 4 years of devoted contributions to the community and to living out the university's motto of being in the nation's service and the service of humanity. This class has spent thousands of hours serving here in local communities, serving abroad, and you have demonstrated to all of us what service should look like, what selfless service, and what the broad-based student-athlete experience of Princeton should look like. So thank you to the class of 2026. The Art Lane Award recognizes individual service. Our next award recognizes collective team service efforts. We're excited to partner with our corporate partner Ford to present our Ford Tiger Game Changers Award, which recognizes a Princeton varsity team that best represents the spirit of serving the broader Princeton community. We have so many teams living out our university's values and missions and making incredible contributions off the field of play. While we could recognize any number of our programs, and they would be deserving, this year's recipient of the Ford Tiger Game Changers Award is the Princeton men's hockey team. As I share a bit about their impact and involvement, I invite our men's hockey seniors to the stage to accept their award.
Ain't no debating on it. I'm still levitated, I'm heavily medicated. Ironic, I gave him love and they end up hating on me. She told me she loved me and she been waiting. Been fighting hard for your love and I'm running thin on my patience. Needing someone to hug, even took it back to the basics. You see what you got me out here doing? Might have threw me off, but can't nobody stop the movement. Let's go. Left foot, right foot, levitating. Pop stars, do a leap with the baby. I had to lace my shoes for all the blessings I was chasing. If I ever slip, I fall into a better situation. So catch up, go put some cheese on it, get out and get your bread up. They always leave when you fall, but you run together. Weight of the world on my shoulders, I kept my head up. Now baby, stand up, cause girl, you want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading.
Our men's hockey program has been incredibly active in the department's Student Athlete Service Council, our Tiger Pals mentorship program at nearby Johnson Park Elementary. They fostered a life-changing partnership with Team Impact and their new teammate Grayson, visited military service members at the New Jersey Air National Guard, and hosted team-specific reading events in the community. Additionally, the team has facilitated several youth hockey clinics to grow the sport and give back to the next generation. And while doing all that, they have this class has led one of the best turnarounds in college hockey over the last 2 years. So thank you so much to the class of 2026 in Princeton men's hockey. As a part of this award, Ford will make a contribution to the team's charity of choice. For our final awards of the evening, we're excited to recognize senior student athletes for their career athletic achievements. We start by meeting our finalists for the C. Otto von Kienbusch Award. This award is annually presented to a Princeton senior woman of high scholastic rank who has demonstrated general proficiency in athletics and the qualities of a true sportswoman. It's presented in memory of C. Otto von Kienbusch from the class of 1906, friend and benefactor of women's athletics at Princeton. With so many impressive and accomplished seniors, it's always a tough call to narrow down these finalist fields. With that said, let's meet our 6 finalists for the Von Kienbusch Award.
One of the most decorated horizontal jumpers in program history, Alexandra Kelly is a 7-time Ivy League champion. claiming 4 long jump titles and 3 triple jump crowns across indoor and outdoor track and field. Kelly claimed bronze and first-team All-America honors in the long jump at this year's Indoor NCAA Championships, marking the highest finish by an Ivy League woman since 2009. She currently holds the Princeton record in the indoor long jump and outdoor triple jump, and now ranks top 4 nationally after her Ivy record triple jump this past weekend. Kelly has twice been recognized as the Ivy League's most outstanding field performer at outdoor HEPs. A 2-year captain and ecology and evolutionary biology major from Long Island, Kelly has played an integral role in leading the Tigers to back-to-back HEPS triple crowns, becoming the first Ivy League women's program to repeat the trifecta. A 2-time All-Ivy selection with Princeton women's lacrosse, Jamie McDonald has produced one of the finest offensive careers in program history. McDonald's 274 career points are number 3 all-time for Princeton, which puts her number 5 all-time by an Ivy Leaguer and number 6 among active Division I players. McDonald's elite scoring and playmaking set her apart as the only player in program history with 150-plus career goals and 100-plus career assists. This spring saw McDonald lead the league with 85 points en route to being named Ivy League Attacker of the Year and a unanimous first-team All-Ivy selection, while captaining the Tigers to the Ivy Tournament title. A 2-time USA Lacrosse All-American, McDonald was twice named to the Tewaaraton Award watch list for National Player of the Year. A native of Georgetown, Ontario, studying in the School of Public and International Affairs, McDonald has also won a silver medal for Canada at the 2024 U20 World Championships. A 2-time All-Ivy performer, Madison St. Rose has been at the forefront during the best stretch in Princeton women's basketball history. In her 4 years, the Tigers won 3 Ivy League titles, 3 Ivy League tournament titles, and reached 4 NCAA tournaments. Princeton has consistently found itself ranked in the top 25 throughout St. Rose's career, peaking as high as number 19 this past season. St. Rose, a psychology major from Old Bridge, New Jersey, helped the Tigers to an NCAA tournament victory in her freshman campaign, while also earning Ivy Rookie of the Year. The 2-time captain led the Tigers to a 96-23 mark, including 49-7 in Ivy League action. This past season, St. Rose was first-team All-Ivy and named to the Wooden Watch list, finishing with a career best in shooting percentage and assists. She graduates with 1,215 points, good for 15th all-time in program history despite missing all but 4 games her junior season with an injury. Maya Weintraub is a 2-time All-American and made the All-Ivy League team in all 4 of her seasons with Princeton fencing, beginning her Tiger career with an NCAA foil championship as a rookie in 2022. She was just the 2nd Princeton woman to win an NCAA foil national title and the first in 22 years. Weintraub followed the NCAA win with a 2nd All-American honor, finishing 3rd at NCAAs in 2023, while earning first-team All-Ivy in each of her first 2 seasons and second-team honors as a junior and senior. Midway through her Tiger career, Weintraub took the year off from Princeton to train for the Olympic Games, a gap from Old Nassau that paid off with the first team women's foil gold medal in U.S. fencing history, making Weintraub the first Princetonian to win Olympic gold in fencing. An ecology and evolutionary biology major from Philadelphia, Weintraub was the women's fencing team selection for academic All-Ivy League honors in 2026. A team captain and psychology major from Toronto, Izzy Wonder capped off her career by helping Princeton to its first ever ECAC title and first NCAA tournament appearance since 2020. Just the 2nd Tiger to be named a 2-time Ivy League Player of the Year and the first since 1984, Wonder also became a 2-time Top 10 finalist for the Patty Kazmaier Award, a 2-time ECAC Player of the Year finalist, and earned consecutive First-Team All-Ivy and First-Team All-ECAC honors. A 3-time All-Ivy selection, Wonder finishes her career tied for Princeton's single-season goals and goals in a game records, She was named ECAC Forward of the Year in 2025, while also earning ECAC Forward of the Week and Month honors and a place on the ECAC All-Academic team. Wonder was also recognized as a 2025 USCHO Third Team All-American and received the 2026 ECAC Hockey Mandy Schwartz Award for excellence in athletics, academics, leadership, and community impact. Beth Yeager is one of the most decorated players in the history of Division I field hockey. She's the first Ivy League field hockey player and 8th in Division I history to be a 4-time first-team All-American, as well as the first in her sport to be a 4-time Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year. An economics major from Greenwich, Connecticut, Yeager is a 4-time unanimous first-team All-Ivy selection and has twice been honored as the Mid-Atlantic Region Player of the Year and a Honda Award finalist. After starting every game for the U.S. at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, she returned to school to lead Princeton to an Ivy League title and the NCAA quarterfinals as a junior, and to overtime in the NCAA National Championship game as a senior, captaining both teams. A member of the full U.S. national team since she was 17, Yeager finishes her Princeton career with 59 goals and 35 assists, only the second Tiger ever to achieve those numbers.
This year's recipient of the C. Otto von Kienbusch Award is Beth Yeager of field hockey.
Come on, show 'em what you work. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go.
Well, first off, thank you, Mr. Mack. I'm incredibly honored to receive this award, and more so to have represented Princeton field hockey and Princeton athletics. I want to thank all of my coaches for giving me the opportunity to come to Princeton and for pushing me to grow as a player and as a person. Thank you, Carla, for guiding me to become a better leader and for pushing me to redefine what I thought was capable of myself, both on and off the field. Thank you, Dina, for introducing me to Princeton and for always believing in me, especially in moments when I struggle to believe in myself. Thank you as well to Pat for pushing me to elevate my game to another level, and to Patty for constant support and encouragement. Finally, I want to thank all of my teammates for supporting and challenging me, and for the invaluable friendships and memories. I'm extremely grateful to have shared this experience with all of you. Princeton is a dream for many, as it was for me 4 years ago, and I'm forever grateful to have had the chance to represent this university and be a part of this community. It has truly been one of the greatest privileges of my life. Thank you.
From one phenomenal group of student athletes to the other, our final award tonight is the William Winston Roper Trophy. It's awarded annually to a Princeton senior man of high scholastic rank and outstanding qualities of sportsmanship and general proficiency in athletics. It's presented by Mrs. William V. Roper in the class of 1902. Here are this year's 6 Roper Award finalists.
A team captain and mechanical and aerospace engineering major from Salisbury, England, Theo Bell has had one of the most storied careers of any Princeton rower. Bell has rowed on the 1V since his freshman year and is a 2-time IRCA First-Team All-American and a 1-time IRCA Second-Team All-American. Bell helped the 1V win bronze at the IRA National Championships in 2023. At Eastern Sprints, Bell contributed to silver medals on 3 separate occasions, as well as 2 row cups for the overall team points trophy. The 2024 season saw Bell help the 1V have its first undefeated regular season since 2006, eventually finishing second in the 10-Ike standings, the team's highest mark since 2016. Bell concludes his career with a 37-3 regular season record. Additionally, he helped Princeton win the Ladies Plate crown at the Henley Regatta and has captured 2 U23 World Championships for Great Britain. molecular biology major from Dunedin, New Zealand, Reuben Cook has been one of the elite men's lightweight rowers from the moment he stepped foot on campus, rowing in the 1V his entire career. A two-time IRCA All-American, Cook helped the 1V win gold and secure the President's Cup in 2023. A year he was also named to the IRA Men's Lightweight Crew of the Year, First Team All-Ivy, and won gold at Eastern Sprints. Cook in the 1V lost only once in what was a historic 2023 season, culminating as IRA national champions. Cook won silver at IRAs in 2024, the 1V's second consecutive medal, and won bronze at Eastern Sprints in 2024 and 25 before a silver this spring. As a team captain in 2026, Cook has sat in the stroke seat, helping the Tigers to the Jope Cup Team Points Trophy at Eastern Sprints, the second Jope Cup of Cook's illustrious career. Arguably the most successful player in the modern history of the program, Riccardo Fantinelli etched his name in the Princeton men's golf record books by becoming the first Tiger and second Ivy player overall to be named Ivy League Player of the Year 3 times over his career. A team captain and 4-time All-Ivy selection, Fantinelli is just the 13th player in Ivy League history to earn All-Ivy honors all 4 years, and the 4th Princetonian to do so. An economics major from Rome, Fantinelli won 5 tournaments over his career, including a pair of Ivy League championships which made him the 11th player in Ivy history to win multiple Ivy titles. He helped the Tigers to Ivy League team championships in 2023 and 2025, and has competed at NCAA regionals 3 times over his career. The 2023 Ivy League Rookie of the Year, Fantinelli is the 3rd ever 2-time Ping All-American for the men's golf program. A 4-time All-American and 9-time Ivy League champion, Greg Foster is one of the most accomplished long jumpers in program history. A molecular biology major from Lumberton, New Jersey, Foster is the Ivy League record holder in both the indoor and outdoor long jump. At the national level, Foster earned All-American distinction 4 times, securing first-team honors with a 4th-place finish in the long jump at this year's NCAA Indoor Championships and a 7th-place finish at last year's Outdoor Championships. He earned second-team honors twice prior to that, again in the long jump. At the conference level, Foster accrued more than 100 career HEPS points, going undefeated in the long jump and also claiming the 2025 110-meter hurdle and 2026 60-meter hurdle Ivy titles. A 3-time Mid-Atlantic Regional Field Athlete of the Year, Foster helped the Tigers to a 3rd straight Ivy League Triple Crown this spring to cap his stellar career. The 2025 Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year, Danny Itticheria, has been one of the most prolific attacking players in Princeton soccer history. An economics major from Warren, New Jersey, Itticheria led the Tigers in scoring for 3 of his 4 years in the orange and black. As a junior, he helped the Tigers to their first Ivy League tournament championship, scoring 3 goals in 2 games to be named the tournament's most outstanding player. As part of his senior campaign, Itticheria helped the Tigers become the first team to win both the Ivy League regular season and tournament championships, while propelling the Tigers to the number 3 overall seed in the NCAA tournament, the highest ever by an Ivy League team. A 2-time first-team All-Ivy selection and a United Soccer Coaches All-Region honoree, Itticheria finishes his career with 28 goals and 64 points. He's now playing professionally for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Mitchell Schott is one of the most decorated and impactful swimmers in the history of Princeton men's swimming and diving. Schott became Princeton's first top 8 NCAA finisher since 2012, earning 2 first-team All-America honors and 2 second-team honors at the 2026 NCAA Championships. Additionally, he's qualified for the NCAA Championships in 8 events. Schott is a 2-time Ivy Championships High Point Swimmer of the Meet, a 9-time Ivy League champion, and a 3-time Ivy League runner-up. Schott rewrote the program record book by setting school records in 12 different events throughout his career. A 2-year captain and East Asian Studies major out of Newport Beach, California, Schott led the Tigers to back-to-back Ivy team titles following an 8-year drought. As a senior, he helped Princeton to its first undefeated campaign in a decade and its highest NCAA team finish since 2012, placing 22nd nationally while earning its most championship points since 1990.
This year's recipient of the William Winston Roper Trophy is Mitchell Schock of men's swimming and diving.
Return to the Mac, get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds.
All right. Let's see how this goes. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to first say I'm incredibly honored to receive this award here tonight against an incredibly competitive finalist field who all do way cooler sports than me. It's pretty freaking cool. Most importantly, I think this award is just as much my coaches and teammates as it is mine. I mean, you see the emotion there. I think it's really about the team and the program, and I mean, I just could not be happier for all of us. So it's all glory to them. I was told to talk about why Princeton's a special place, and I've been thinking about this for a very long time, 4 years. And I think for me, what it really is I think at Princeton, us athletes, we are athletes, but we also are students. But we're students at a pretty freaking good school. And I think that difficulty and that challenge, that hardship that we all together embrace and encounter, it really creates a bond and a camaraderie that I think is unlike any other place in the world. And I mean, it's incredible, and I'm so blessed and grateful and fortunate to have had a 4-year career here. This is also pretty damn important. Matt Crispino, my head coach. I can't say enough. I think we talk about the athletic accomplishment, sure, but I could not have asked for a better person to have dealt with the mental battles and the just growth path that I've been on for the last 4 years, and I'm so grateful for you, and I'll always be in debt. Also, Catherine Rowe, she's out there somewhere. You want to talk about somebody who's really gone through it. Catherine Rowe has helped me through a lot of thick battles, that's for sure. She has been my base of confidence and so much more, and I'm very, very grateful. Zach and Mia, so many thanks. Lastly, my mom, dad, brother, and sister. You guys are the base that has allowed me to excel here and really grow and take risks that I just otherwise would not have, and I'm incredibly grateful. Lastly, thank you, God, for this opportunity and this moment, and thank you, Princeton Athletics, and thank you, John Mack. Thank you, everybody. Go Knicks.
Congratulations, Mitchell. Congratulations to all of our finalists tonight, our recipients, at a place that has more than 160 years of distinguished athletic participation in creating unbelievable student athletes and a transformative student athlete experience. This class has carved its own path, has created its own legacy, and your time here at Princeton will not soon be forgotten. You are and always will be the great class of 2026, and we have a quick video to highlight all 246 members of the student athlete class of 2026. once again to the class of 2026. We are so proud of all that you've accomplished during your 4 years here. Before we close, a couple of housekeeping items that are very important. First, I would like all award recipients to join me on stage for a photo. You can come up now. In addition, all members of our Varsity Student Athlete Advisory Committee, please join me on the stage. That means, yes, come up now. Now. All award recipients and members of our Varsity Student Athlete Advisory Committee. In addition, all of our student athletes, please remember to grab the PVC pins that are on your table, the lapel pins. Those are for you to take. All of our award finalists, we have plaques for you, award plaques that can be picked up here at the stage once the event is over. And as you leave, all of our student athletes can pick up their logo sweaters at the back. You guys, come on up. Now, we will end the event as we always do by singing Old Nassau, and they are going to help us by leading us in singing Old Nassau. I didn't mention that before because I was afraid they wouldn't come up here, but they're here now and can't leave. So, take the lapel pins. Award nominees, please come up and grab your plaques, and student athletes, grab your logo sweaters on your way out. Now, as we always do, we will end with the singing of Old Nassau. The words will be on the screen. All right. Does everybody know the words? No. Can everybody read? Okay. Are we ready? All right. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. There's no mic seat. Thank you, good night, and as always, go Tigers.